So, AI influencers. Ooh, yeah. What a time to be alive. Let's roll it.
Aitana is an AI model. Since she was created around a year ago, she's amassed a big following and is making thousands a month for her Barcelona-based agency.
We intend to always try to make it as similar as what an influencer would do. We take a picture with me in the image and we have to replace it with AI. So we have to play a little bit with lights and shadows to make it as real as possible.
As well as the main images, Aitana's designers make short videos to post as her Instagram stories. Back in the studio, they plan the post.
Maybe the Barcelona as the background is gonna be more interesting.
And if we want, we can do a simple prompt now, put Aitana, and then complement all the prompt with more things like the clothes, the acting.
Clueless Agency won't say exactly which AI image generator they are using, but say they use a mixture of open source models like Stable Diffusion. Sometimes it can throw up some surprises.
And we train Aitana with...
That's interesting that you laughed at that one.
Aitana will never wear this, for example.
Right, that's what.
So it's funny because it's like, wow, I would love her to wear this, but she will not wear this. We spent like 2 months creating this personality and understanding how she would speak, how she would like interact with her community. So this is why we believe she has been working and she still works.
Once the image is chosen, the refinements and corrections are done. They start with seeing what Photoshop's inbuilt AI suggests, then touch it up by hand. Touch-ups used to take around a day, but now it's a few hours because of how the AI's improved so much. A few days later, here's the final product. The studio says they can get thousands of pounds a month for sponsored posts and endorsements with Aitana. She's now the most famous of this new wave of realistic-looking AI models.
Let me tell y'all something. They are being very discreet. You notice how they said thousands of pounds. They don't want to tell you what they're really making using these AI models, because if they did, you would be pissed. Let me tell you, is this going to be essentially the death of influencers? I don't think so, but it's definitely going to create an atmosphere where influencers are obviously going to have to compete with now artificial intelligence, fake people. I mean, I remember the days when you just had to worry about fake profiles being bots, right? And fake followers and fake viewers and all of that, right? Now you got people, I can't even say people because they're not real, but now you got companies using these and taking time to actually develop these fake personas for the purpose of financial gain. How do you guys feel about that? Like, so if a company is using these AI models, do these companies have a moral responsibility to let you know? Like, for example, I think it was Pepsi or one of these Fortune 500 companies, they made history like last year, 2024, with having the first 100% AI created or AI generated ad. And it was like a Super Bowl ad. So this is where we're headed, guys. This is where we are headed. I think it's unusual, but let me know. How do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like companies need to be upfront and tell us about this? But I don't know.
And there are plenty of them, some with hundreds of thousands of followers as well. Achieving realism in videos is proving harder, but Aitana's team are experimenting too. Aitana also has an OnlyFans-style private membership for underwear and swimsuit shots. Her
Oh boy, here we go. Listen, it's about to get real sticky.
virtual life is built for her mostly male fans, a key demographic for these AI models. Some find the message they're sending to boys and girls troubling.
We're seeing AI, artificial intelligence influencers, and if you watch these, it is terrifying how real they are.
Danae Mercer is a well-being influencer who calls out fakery on Instagram.
I see huge issues with the rise of AI models and influencers. I think they're setting an unrealistic beauty standard that is close enough to being real that a lot of people who follow them don't realize they're not real, especially teenagers, young teen girls. But then the perfection is so unachievable because it isn't real that it's something like none of us can ever reach.
Aitana is marketed as a
Yeah, so that's something I was gonna crack a joke about catfishing, and that's the first thing I thought about. You got these lonely men, and it can be reversed, right? The roles can be reversed. It could easily be an AI man, and you have these lonely people, and they're paying for these OnlyFans accounts and all this, and they're just, basically dishing out thousands of dollars. They're basically spending their whole check to these AI people, right? But she touched on something that's very it's very serious, right? She's talking about these young and impressionable women, right? I mean, I don't have a daughter, I have a teenage son, but I've seen the articles, I've seen, Facebook posts from other people I used to go to school with that have teenage daughters, and I've seen the articles and news postings about teenage girls are, feeling this unrealistic pressure to essentially conform to the beauty standards of an IG model or whatever online. So they're starting to dress more provocative. I mean, you see it. You go out, you see these teenage girls wearing full-blown makeup at 12 years old, 13, 14 years old. So, and that's with just regular models and, feeling that pressure to uphold this new beauty standard. So now imagine when you literally have, from all intents and purposes, a perfect persona being created with the perfect body and the perfect face and the perfect hair and the perfect clothes. And like, it's only going to get worse. Like, this is, the dark side of this AI models. Like, it's one thing to just use AI as a shortcut for marketing, but what happens when it starts to bleed into society?
Something like none of us can ever reach.
Aitana is marketed as a fitness-loving woman who lives a healthy lifestyle. She's even been sponsored by nutrition and sports brands. Is there a problem where you're promoting a body image of someone that is, in many ways perfect, but they don't exist? They don't go to the gym, they don't watch what they eat. And there are some people, some of your followers, that say, I wish I had that body.
In the beginning, we tried to make more curvy models, for example, or more not standardized models, and clients didn't like that. They usually want like a perfect model. But you can see this everywhere in publicity. At the end of the day, she is an influencer, but comparing her to the rest of the influencers, she looks the same as the rest.
Does she? Does she though? I don't know, man. This is getting real. Listen, you gotta pray for discernment. I gotta take it there. It's one thing when you got the deep fakes, and you can put Tom Cruise's face on somebody, and we already got to worry about that now. But this is a whole nother ball game.